Hey everybody, it's Mark Schultz here. Good morning. I am live this morning from St. Paul Downtown Airport. And for those of you that may not know where St. Paul Downtown Airport is, it's about 8 miles from downtown Minneapolis, St. Paul. And for those of you who have seen all the news out there, of course, in the world, Minneapolis has been out there in the news because of all the recent events. And I'm about 8 miles from downtown Minneapolis, and I'm at downtown St. Paul Airport, and I'm right here at the edge of the runway where aircraft are taking off and landing. Right there, we just had a landing of a business jet. And what's really nice about this airport at downtown St. Paul Airport is it's actually got a really nice viewing area right here on the ramp, okay? And where I'm currently located right now is at the original terminal of the Holman Field, all right? And at this airport here, it's pretty famous. And it's actually the birthplace of Northwest Airways, all right? And Northwest Airways became Northwest Airlines, and of course, Delta Airlines today. And a couple of interesting facts about this airport: it's 705 feet MSL, and the airport has 3 runways, which are between 6,500 and 3,600 feet. Did I say 4? There's 3. There's 3 runways, about 6,500 feet asphalt, and another one, and then 3,600 feet. And this airport was actually named after Charles Holman, and he was famous because he actually had done 1,400, and he was a stunt pilot, and he was the first pilot ever to be hired by Northwest Airways. And unfortunately, he passed away, but in his career as a stunt pilot, he actually performed 1,433 loops over a 5-hour period over this St. Paul airport. And they named the airport after him, Holman Field. And this was the airport until Northwest Airlines moved to Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport at its current location, just south of the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. And here we have some other business aircraft that are landing here right now, right behind me at this time. And it's really cool. I mean, I've really seen an increase in activity here in aviation. And this broadcast today is about recovery in aviation. And you know that we're focusing on recovery in aviation and what can we do as business owners and leaders within the industry to be able to accelerate the recovery in aviation. You know that business aviation has dramatically increased over the last few months. And we're seeing that approximately 70% of the operations that we see today or let me rephrase that, is that we're seeing operations today that are approximately 70% of what we saw roughly a year ago at this time. And so you see business aviation is only down slightly over last year. Now, unfortunately, commercial aviation is down significantly over last year. We're down in the 30% operations here in North America. And we're all looking to create recovery. And one of the things that we can do to be able to drive and create recovery is to be enthusiastically engaged and looking around us for new and different opportunities where we can engage in aviation and contribute to the movement forward for the recovery in aviation. It's really pretty exciting to be able to see what's happening in business and general aviation. And so if you and your business have the opportunity or ability to be able to engage in business and general aviation, I would highly recommend, that you consider whether you can do that. Hey, let's take a look at a couple of interesting factors here. Over my shoulder here right now is the original terminal of the Holman Field here. And what's really interesting is that this terminal, which was built many years ago, was actually designed by the very first black architect here in Minnesota. And it's just got gorgeous architecture, the stone architecture and the tower. And I asked them if I could go up into the tower, and they said, no, unfortunately, it's only accessible from the roof. And so, but they do have this really great viewing area out in front. And so if you're ever in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, you definitely need to check out this airport because, basically they have they have a really nice restaurant over here, and they have a viewing area, which is right at the ramp, right at the apron. And you're able to stand right in front and watch airplanes take off and land. And it's just a great little place to be, a viewing area here at this airport. Hey, if you have a chance, share this stream because we're going to have a little bit of discussion this morning about recovery in aviation and what we can be doing as leaders to be able to drive and create recovery in aviation. So you know that my business partner and I, Larry Little, we really focus on digital transformation and what businesses can do to be able to adapt and to be able to adjust in their industries, in our aviation industry, to be able to create recovery. And when we look at digital and digital transformation, we're all faced with a significant reality today where, we have a need to be able to do things remotely. We need to social distance. We need to be able to do things digitally, just like I'm coming to you on this video broadcast here today. And we're finding that the use of digital within the industry has dramatically increased just this year alone. Now, we've been engaging in this digital transformation in aviation for many years now, but over the last year, we've seen significant emphasis and increase. But even in the first 6 months of this year, because of the changes in our economy and the changes in the way that we're working with supporting of aircraft and maintenance and operations, we're finding that digital is becoming a significantly increasing part of our businesses. Now, so I want to talk about this today. We all know that we need to be doing this, and we need to be doing digital within our businesses. And so one of the things that's a challenge for us is that I actually had a meeting with a company this week. And one of the leaders in the business, he said, well, we tried that a couple of years ago, and the acceptance in the industry just wasn't there. I understand, and I know that things have been difficult, over time for us to engage and to go into digital transformation. And we all have to have a return on investment. We have to have a business case. But today, things are moving forward faster than they ever have before. All the factors are really in place for us to be able to move digital in aviation. I want you to, for a second, just envision this. Can you really envision a world in aviation, where we're continuing to use paper over time? It just isn't going to happen. It's not realistic to believe that we're going to continue to use paper. It's going to happen a lot faster than what you think. And so you need to prepare yourself in your business to be able to move to digital, to be able to move completely to digital, digital maintenance, digital logbooks, digital task cards, electronic signatures, digital systems. All of that needs to be part of our business strategy, not just from, the standpoint of it needs to be part of our strategies in our businesses because everybody's doing it and it becomes a necessary part of the operation, but also from a return on investment standpoint. It really turns out that when we're properly using digital, that we're able to get business returns on investment that are, dramatically more than what we have ever been able to do in the past. All right. So let's talk about this for a minute. You find yourself in a situation where you have a business which is running, largely in paper, and you're asking yourself, what do I really need to do? All right. Well, let me make a couple of recommendations. All right. Number one is look at your current systems. Just make an inventory, identify all of your current systems, write them all down, make an inventory, and assess where you currently are. All right. Look at your business and look at your processes and how you use those current IT systems. Just write it down. It doesn't have to be something elaborate. It just needs to be an inventory of what you're currently doing. Next, identify what areas either your businesses are challenged by, where does it cost you a lot of money, or maybe where are new revenue opportunities that you can capture in your business. I'm not talking about digital yet. I'm just talking about revenue opportunities that might exist in your business. All right. Next, look around and determine what digital technology might exist for you to be able to optimize those business processes, those business challenges, those problems you have. Let's be specific. All right. So you're running an MRO operation, and all of your 4130s or all of your documentation, everything is all being done in paper, and you're delivering it in paper. Maybe you're delivering in a PDF, but it may as well be paper if you're delivering in a PDF. You need to look at better ways to be able to distribute that. All right. And you're asking yourself, well, I don't know what all the options are. I don't know, what technology I should be using or what direction I should be going. My recommendation is always to leverage people. All right. Is that look within your organization. Do you have people in your organization that are, enthusiastic about IT, or they're experts about IT? Or look around and see if you have, business partners who have implemented digital in these same areas. Ask them what they're doing. Go visit what they're doing. All right. Have a video call with them and see what they're doing. But take a look around you and don't try to do this from scratch on your own. Do what other people are doing initially. All right. And I encourage you to find new ways to do things better in the future. But if you're just looking for a path and a way to be able to step forward, then just look around you and see what other people are doing. I encourage you to look at vendors and the solutions that they have. All right. Use their expertise. Many of them have been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years. And, why go back 20, 30, 40 years and start over again? All right. Leverage their experience and learn from their experience so that you can be able to move forward faster and to be able to implement things that you need, more quickly. All right. So number one, make an inventory of what your IT current systems are. Take a look at what business processes that you have. Number three, take a look at where your challenges are and, where you maybe have new revenue opportunities. Leverage people, that are around you. And finally, number five, I'm just going to say this, is that, sketch out a vision for what it might look like in the future. All right. Listen, this isn't the entire process, but if you just sketch out a vision of what your current systems are and what your business challenges and problems are and what you think it might need to be in the future, then start engaging with people. Take one small step forward, another small step forward, another small step forward, and you will find yourself moving forward. All right. And we won't be paralyzed by what's happening around us. We won't be just sitting there wondering, what's going to happen next? Is my business going to collapse? Are things going to fail all around me? We've moved beyond that today. All right. We used to talk about, hey, how is, the current economic downturn affecting our businesses? All right. Well, right now we're talking about how do we move forward in the current economic system and how do we create success? How do we create efficiencies? How do we create new revenues? And how do we create success in aviation? I am absolutely positively committed to success in aviation. That's why we're doing these broadcasts about recovery in aviation, is that we are passionate about aviation. We are passionate about the success and the successful recovery of aviation. And we want all of us to join around and join together and to move forward and create success. Hey, listen, it's enthusiasm which drives, additional enthusiasm, and people get excited. People feel safe about flying. People feel like they can travel. I traveled to get here to Minneapolis from the Seattle area. All right. I flew. Hey, it was safe. I felt very safe about being on airplanes. I'm staying in a hotel for the last couple of weeks. I feel safe about being in the hotel. I believe that everybody is working together to create the necessary environments for us to be able to move forward. I saw a really great video, which I'm going to share on this post when I'm done on the broadcast today, that the United Arab Emirates put out. It was all about travel. And they were talking about how people can safely enter the country now and what they're doing to ensure that people, want to re-engage in travel and they want to go back and vacation in the UAE to Dubai. My son, for example, he really, really wants to go to Dubai. And I'm going to look at it and see if it's something that we can do. I just saw this video yesterday about how they're encouraging people now, to come and to travel and to engage in tourism, this summer. There are countries that are starting to open up. Now, you might say to yourself, oh, there's so many challenges to that. Even within the United States, there's a few states that you can't travel between right now. And I know there's challenges, that exist. All right. But, enthusiastically, we all will move forward and we will recover. And this will be something that we will emerge into, a new world. We will emerge into a new environment and we will pass through this. And we will continue to have great things that we do, within aviation. And, I've been in aviation since I was, maybe 2 years old, when the first time that my father put me onto the wing of an air coupe. And then he took me up flying in a Ford Trimotor when I was 13 years old. And I got to fly in the co-pilot seat. And, I was just absolutely engaged and enthusiastic and passionate about aviation. And for, my entire 60 years of my life now, yes, 60 years, I've been around and in aviation, and it's been an exciting part of my life. And I want to encourage you to engage in aviation and continue to make it your passion and be enthusiastic about aviation and make it something which is really part of your life, because aviation connects us to other people. Listen, communication connects us to other people. Aviation connects us to other people. It connects us to people around the world. And when we're connected with people, our lives are satisfied. All right. I mean, we have satisfying moments in our lives when we're able to connect and when we're able to, be with other people, and really travel and transportation is something which allows us to be able to connect with people around the world. And I want to be part of that. I want to be the part of the success of that. So this is why we're doing these recovery in aviation broadcasts. And I want to tell you that we have had such tremendous success in doing these recovery in aviation broadcasts that we're bringing to you regular leaders in the industry, and we're talking about things that you can do in your businesses to be able to create recovery. We've had really good success, and so we decided to do a big virtual summit or a virtual conference in August. And so on August 25th, 26th, and 27th, we're going to have a virtual conference, and at that virtual conference, we're going to have over 50 companies and leaders who are speaking in interviews like what we've done over the last 3 months. And we're going to have about 10,000 people which are going to be participating in that. And I know that just by the following that we have in the videos that we put out and how many people actually watch them. So I want to encourage you to keep an eye out for that. We're going to have registration coming up soon, and we're going to want you to be part of that, because I want you to be part of recovery in aviation. I want you to join in with me. I want you to be enthusiastic, and I want you to be part of the recovery in aviation with me. And together, we are going to recover aviation, and we are going to be enthusiastic, and we are going to be satisfied and have these passions and these things that when we're doing in our life, that we can help people, we can connect people, and we can be part of the overall total recovery in aviation. Hey, I want to thank you for joining me today, and I wanted to tell you that I really appreciate you watching, and I want to ask you if you'll continue to join us in these broadcasts on a regular basis over the week, and share it. And I thank you, and join in on the conversation. I want to leave you by saying fair winds and following seas to you, and have a great day. And thank you for joining me today.